Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and I just want to go over the Jeep Wagoneer instrument panel and some of the options that are on it. We'll pretty much be using these buttons over here. So as I refer to up, down, left, right, and the OK button, that's what we'll hit. This one here that shows 3 screens is pretty useful because when you push on it, you get a whole bunch of options that come up at the same time. So that's another one that we'll get into. But we're going to go ahead and zoom in here a little bit so you can see what we're talking about. Now in the top left corner right here, it's going to have the number that we're on. So you have driver info, you have vehicle info, trip info, navigation, off-road, audio, messages, settings, and then back to where we started. So now that was kind of cycling through it with the up and down arrow. Now if you look, there's also a left and a right arrow. And so this is kind of like, you may have seen it on like your iPhone or whatnot. This is the screen you're on when it's illuminated, and next to it is another dot for a different screen. So if we're left arrow over, what it will do is bring these gauges up bigger, which is really nice. Make sure you arrow over once you're driving down the highway so you're not squinting at your small gauges. Okay, so arrowing over back to the right, that's pretty much the driver info screen there. We're going to go down to number 2, which is vehicle information. This is really nice, especially when you're towing. You're going to get a transmission temperature sensor reading here too. So you have coolant temp, trans temp, oil pressure, battery voltage, and the vehicle's off right now, so a lot of these are reading pretty low. So again, we can arrow over to the side on all these. If we go to the left, it gives your average miles per gallon. And this will give you your range, what your current fuel economy is. And let's see, we'll go to the right here now. That's the screen we were on. Oil life. Okay, so when you should change your oil. Tire pressure. Now on a lot of vehicles, these are specific by which tire. So if you go rotate your tires, it may still think that the back tire's on the front and front on the left. Not sure about this vehicle, but that's something to keep in mind. And so start stop engine is not ready. There is a button for that over here. So there's a few buttons down here, and that's this one here. And it's nice when you push this button, there's like a vibration. And so it kind of gives you a little bit of feedback. But that's the start stop for fuel economy. I really don't like that feature anyway. But anyway, continuing on. So now we're back to our miles per gallon. So we'll go from number 2, vehicle information, to number 3, trip information. So this is helpful. You can reset a lot of these just by holding OK, which is on that left hand where we were showing you on the arrow buttons. So this is the total mileage for the trip. 18.5 miles per gallon is the kind of the average that we're getting, and this is for 41 hours. So as you see, we're over on this dot. So this is trip B. If we arrow back over to trip A, then it shows what we were currently doing, 20.9 miles per gallon with 107 miles, 2 hours and 22 minutes total. So again, if you hit OK on this, it will reset it as you hold it. And so anyway, as you can see, trip B has not been reset for a while, but that's good because it gives you, for the last 41 hours of driving, we know we're getting about 18.5 miles per gallon. This is a 5.7 liter Hemi, 392 horsepower. So really not bad for the weight of this vehicle. Okay, so that's about it for the trip information. We'll arrow down. Navigation, and this would be more apt if you're going somewhere and have a setting, and then it'll do navigation for you as you're going. Okay, you have an off-road one, which will show you the wheels and where they're positioned and where they're turned. And so there's 3 different screens on this one. You have your automatic all-wheel drive type thing. And a lot of these modes can be changed down here too, as you go up and down with these. And so here's the sand and mud, snow, sport. Okay, that will kind of change. And yeah, it gives you a little vehicle info picture as you're doing that. So it's kind of cool how it shows a picture of it. But anyway, that's just kind of arrowing down with that. Okay, so if we arrow over, that was the wheel degree. So that's how far your steering has been turned in degrees. Then you have this one, which is kind of cool for your departure up and down, how level you are, and your pitch and roll. We're 3% right now turned, and 1% we're parked in a parking garage that's not exactly straight. Okay, let's see, off-road. So that's kind of the three that were there, as well as terrain status. That's kind of interesting one there. Okay, so let's go ahead and go. We're going to arrow down to number 6, audio. So it would just show you what you're currently playing, and if your phone's paired to that or not. I have mine with my phone plugged into a USB directly to it, so it gives you a picture of what's playing and everything, so that's kind of neat. Okay, then messages. You have right now oil pressure low. That's because the vehicle's not running, most likely, and there's no other pages on that to go left or right. Okay, now settings. This is pretty cool. There's a lot of ways you can configure this. So as we hit that OK button on the left, it'll basically take you through what's on the upper right. See how it's kind of lit up over here, and upper left, it'll light up over here. And so basically wherever it's showing you it's lit up, now if we press OK, we can edit this. So what do we want to show in the up left? We have a compass right now. You can go up to none. You can do your trip B, trip A, your current fuel economy, average fuel economy, range to empty, so the time, outside temperature, compass. So it just depends on what you want to have show up there on the upper left of the screen. So let's just do our compass, for example. Now we go to the upper right and click OK. We can do the same thing. We could have 2 compasses if we wanted. So we're gonna go ahead and change that to something else that's different though, like average fuel economy maybe. Okay, then you go down to the current gear. Okay, so you can turn that on and off. It's probably the park or drive, you know, whatever that is. Odometer, you can basically say, do you want your odometer showing or not? So right now it shows. If we hide it, then it just won't tell you how many miles you have on it. So we do want to know that, so we're going to put it back to show. Okay. Favorite menus, defaults, then you're just back over again. Upper left, upper right, the gear, odometer. Okay, so you just kind of flip through those. So there is a way to configure a lot of that. It will not let you configure this as you're driving. Of course, it doesn't want you to be worrying about that. So you have to be in park and stopped. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We're 8. Yep, back to the driver info. A few other things that I noticed that were kind of cool about this. Well, cool and also kind of bothered me a little bit. One is like the parking brake. This is it right here. Get it to focus. And it's activated by pulling up. And if you heard it, it's an electronic brake, so it came on. Now, the only thing is, the only way you know it's on is it does say brake right here. And so I think it should beep. So as I turn it back off, to release the parking brake, you have to be holding the brake pedal. So you release it and it just goes off. The only way you know it went off is it disappeared. I think it should beep or something. But you can literally hear it engage electronically. So what's really cool though is as soon as you shift it into drive out of park or into reverse out of park, it will automatically go off as well. So that's a nice feature. But anyway, just wanted to show you a few of these. So hopefully this video is helpful. Down here, we kind of mentioned a few of these. And like I said, they kind of vibrate as you touch them. Here's the tow haul button. I did notice it's interesting on this vehicle. It doesn't seem to have to where you could put it into a manual mode, like first gear, second gear, third gear. Behind the steering wheel, you have controls for the audio. So you have the radio, changing the radio, and then the volume up and down. So you do have that. On the steering wheel, you have the different lane distance for the radar, how sensitive you want it to be, up and down. And then you have the cruise control. So as you see, as you hit this button, I don't know if you can see that, but it's just basically going, here we go, with up and down, how sensitive it's going to look out in front of you with up and down on those, and then just turning it on and off, period. So you do have that one for cruise control, how sensitive up and down you want it to be. And then on this side, you hit this to turn on the cruise control, cancel, resume, set, and plussing it up and down. It's nice when you plus it up and down, it does go by mile per hour. So when you have it set, it's unavailable in park, or not going this slow, but anyway, it does go, you know, by mile per hour as you plus on it, so it does keep track of it that way. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and stay tuned for more content. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel.